I guess N. Bison is supposed to be the other guy, killing Lindsay's mind. So you killed Ask That Guy and you killed Lindsay. Nice. Doug's friends start teleporting into their real bodies so that they can have Lindsay's funeral. The next scene consists of cut together shots of Lindsay's permanently vegetative, her mind has been killed and thus cannot return to her body. Well, no shit. Body being placed in a coffin and buried in the real world. Stop! When you're in a vegetative state, your body is still alive. It's still alive. Still alive. So it makes no sense that they would bury her because she technically wouldn't be dead. It would make more sense if they say that they had to bring her to a nut house so they can put her on a machine so then she can just be a vegetable for the rest of her life. That would have made more sense. You don't bury someone who is brain dead because technically their body is still living. Hello? Let's continue. While in Doug's mind, Nostalgia Critic reconciled to the... Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Put a dash, please, so it says re-exiled instead of reconciled. It's ridiculous. Let's continue. Let's say that correctly. Nostalgia Critic re-exiled to the memory section with the gunshot-wounded dead body of Lindsay's mind sadly carries her into the most important, longest-term section of memory. This is set to epic music. I'm thinking maybe Death of Audrey from Little Shop of Horrors, and immediately afterwards there's a clip from Bambi. Quote-unquote, la 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 la, Twitter P, you know the one. I guess he's referring to the scene after Bambi's mother's death where they have the stupid happy scene. The la 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 la, twit twiddly, Continue. After a montage of interviews with Doug's friends where each of them sadly describe his insanity, we learn that the Fern Gully sex has impregnated Nostalgia Critic. And what does a pregnant section of the mind mean? Why? There's a tiny new brain growing in Doug's skull? What? Okay, that's interesting. Nostalgia Critic is unable to reconcile this with his knowledge of reality and encounters the judge scene from Junior. Two brains don't fit in a skull, and Doug starts to bleed to death in his straitjacket. Okay, Dr. Horrible, what the fuck is your problem? Let's continue. To be continued fades onto the screen, immediately followed by ... I kid you not, in big capital red letters, canceled. What was that? This was the weirdest thing I have ever read. And let's take a look at something that the author wrote at the beginning of this, shall we? My idea is focused around creating a logical explanation, keyword logical, for the going-ons in the TGWTG universe, incorporating elements from the website. Well, Dr. Horrible. There was absolutely nothing logical about that at all. Nothing. Zippity-doo-dah. Nothing. First of all, it made no sense. It was like a mindfuck, if I am to quote the Nostalgia Critic. You know what? In fact, this should have been called the Mindfuck episode of ThatGuyWithGlasses.com. That would have made a lot more sense than calling it the 3-year anniversary special or whatever. Because it came across more as a mindfuck than a special. And why the hell would Doug Walker want to end the 3-year anniversary special with him dying? Why? That makes no sense. He would be crazy to stop doing Nostalgia Critic. In fact, he's making money by doing Nostalgia Critic. So why would he want to stop doing it? Makes no sense. And another thing, buddy, this was way too dark. And trust me, I'm not the only one who thinks this. You don't believe me? Well, let's read some of the other posts that came after this idea. One person wrote, "Dude, that's sick stuff. I understand the psychological connections you are trying to make, but it sounds too epic to pull off. Doug would never be that dark." Keyword, dark! Another person wrote, "Wow, that's a lot and you're making things too deep, too complicated, and too dark. Let's leave the idea process to the professionals." It's just ridiculous. It was incredibly dark. Way too dark, way too dark, dark. It was ridiculous. And you know what? A lot of the characters in here were out of character. I don't remember the Ask That Guy person being so murderous and would be this smart. And I'm sorry, people. Lindsay and Doug are not a couple in real life, so stop shipping them like they are one. And the layout itself was atrocious. And don't use the excuse, "Oh, it's on a forum, you can't really put spaces." I actually posted something, and wow! For those who are on this site with me, scroll down, find my post. You'll know it's me because I'll have my little cartoon version of myself with the FanFic Critic underneath it. And look, I have spaces. So, you could have put spaces in that. Because, it's really, 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 really hard to read something when it's a humongous, ginormous blob of text. You know what? I'm actually glad that Morgan Ledger sent me this to review it because I think it deserved to be reviewed. It really did deserve to be reviewed because, in my book, it's a fanfic. When you read it, you think fanfic. It's ridiculous like fanfics can be, so yes, it's a fanfic. And a very bad one to add to that. Sorry, Dr. Horrible. No pun intended, but this was horrible. Well, I'm the FanFic Critic. I read it, you listen, and I need to sharpen my razor.